But it's really interesting to see. So, I mean, as was described, আমার মা বাবার দুইজন পাবনা থেকে আসছে অনেক আগে, 1960s, বাংলাদেশের হওয়ার আগে. And আমি মানুষ হয়েছে in London. I grew up in the area I now represent as an MP in Ealing. It's in West London. Anyone been to London here? কেউ গেছে এখানে লন্ডনে কোনো সময়? Hand up if you've been to London. Okay, did you go to Heathrow Airport? If you use Heathrow Airport, you have been to Ealing. So between the Heathrow Airport and central London, you have to pass by Ealing. So you maybe came to my area and you didn't know it. And, you know, আমি জীবনে অনেকবার বেশি কোনো দেশে আসি না এখানে. In fact, the first time I came, I'm born in 1972. Who's good at maths? You can work out how old I am, right? And also, I first came in 1989. So, you know, between 0 and 17, I mean, I shouldn't see. You know, I heard stories from my mum and dad, but I never came for a long time. And I think this is my 6th time now, so I don't come very often. I was here in May. I was here for a UNDP conference. And it's interesting to see the changes because I was there before in the Bangladesh 1.0 and now I'm seeing the Bangladesh 2.0. And I've been here with a trade delegation this week. So some of them are in the room. Big Baksha Malik, and these are all people with investments and, you know, we're talking about investment, climate and economy. But for me, the politics is interesting because I'm a politician. And যখন আমি ছিলাম মে মাসে মনে করেছি যে এটা খুব বেশি হেলথি না এইসব একই মানুষ সব জায়গাতে this father of the nation thing. For me, I found it a little bit strange যে সব জায়গাতে দুইটা ছবি আছে হাসিনার ছবি তারপরে মুজিবের ছবি everywhere. The eyes are following you around the room. When you sit in a room, there's 2 pictures, and just to me that seemed a bit strange. Murti turti shob jagayte. You know, you shouldn't have this much hero worship. That's why I find it strange, guys. You keep talking about me because I'm not into hero worship. I think we shouldn't be about personalities. We should be about the policies and building the future. And this is not about me. It's about the young people and what they did. Bangladesh is a young country. If you compare it to England, which has been there, you know, we learn about the history of 1066, and it existed before 1066. So Kupurandesh, which is England, Bangladesh, young country, 1971, and I heard, I mean, shall I see, 27 is the median age, so young workforce. That shouldn't mean, though, that it's exploited. We know about the ready-made garments, probably all the, you know, clothes English people are wearing. My own son, I mean, I can now Marcelo Bishboy but I think he did. So the other day, আমার একটা খালাতো বোন জিজ্ঞেস করেছে ওর সাইজ কত কারণ আমি ওর শার্ট কিনতে চাই, and I looked in the collar, what is his size, and what does it say? Made in Bangladesh. So, you know, that makes me proud to see made in Bangladesh, but at the same time, I don't want to see just exploitation. Jodi amra khali chinta kori, you know, minimum ki poisha dite pari, maximum ki profit dite pari, eta bhalo na. And we know, what do people know Bangladesh for? In the film by Al Gore, remember Al Gore? He was the vice president to Clinton. He made this film, A Very Inconvenient Truth. And they mentioned Bangladesh will be underwater in 100 years. I'm not sure Dubai too. You know, this kind of climate vulnerability is a worry about this country. So we need to build a sustainable future. And also, what do people know it for? The garments industry, Rana Plaza, this disaster. You know, collapsing buildings, and we have a climate of fast fashion. People want to buy, you know, dui poisha jinish, and it will last 2 minutes, and that's not good. If we're consumerist people just accumulating, it's wasteful. So, you know, with the businessmen, we've got some very high caliber people who came on the visit. And we've met some very high caliber people. Chief advisor, and I found him to be a really you know, if you think after a revolution and uprising like this, could go two ways. It could be really dangerous what happens, but because he's a reassuring figure, so because of that, there's a trust and belief in this man that I think he's held it together. It could have been, and sometimes if you read the media, maybe it's coming from, I don't know where, maybe from Modi, maybe from somewhere. If you believe what the British media tells you, you would think that there's anarchy in the street. You know, that there's a, you kind of imagine if you read the British media or hear some of the things that other MPs, not me, have been saying in our parliament, that everything's on fire, Hindus are being attacked wherever they go on every street corner. I have been reassured to see it's relatively peaceful and calm out there. I mean, you know, just the Dhaka you know, the traffic we haven't got rid of. So, as I say, between May and now, what have I seen? In some senses, everything changed. In other senses, everything is the same. The same traffic, same all this stuff is still there. So I'm optimistic because I think the changes you guys make, the young students, hopefully, because I think the other day someone said to me, Kali Manusha Duijin Ishjade Noka Badham. So the two symbols of the two parties, either the sheaf of wheat or the boat, the two big parties, BNP or Awami League. It shouldn't just be that they're alternating, that there's corruption. You know, before my level of Bangla, as I say, we always spoke English, me and my sisters, we always spoke English back. And people thought that's weird, but for us in our house that was totally natural. And so my level of Bangla was like, or this kind of level of, you know, or whatever, this type of Bangla. Whereas now, this time I've learned all these new words. Shorkar, Poriborton, Rajniti, Durniti. But just this time on this new visit, I have learned new vocabulary. And I think that the Durniti should not continue. You know, we've had, and I think some reference was made to another colleague in the parliament. I really don't know where, but because this is the Bangladeshi people's money. And if it's going out, we do have legislation in the UK. There was something called a Criminal Finances Act. I was the shadow minister at the time when that was happening. So there are asset tracing mechanisms, there is a thing called an unexplained wealth order, there's a serious fraud office, there's a financial conduct authority, the structures are there. But often enforcement, they're not being enforced for many reasons. So we know with people like, who here follows football? Do you know Chelsea football team? Anyone know Chelsea? Roman Abramovich. So people like that, they put sanctions on him quickly. When the Ukraine war started, we went hard after the money laundering from Russia. So we need to be consistent. We need to do that everywhere. We need to be consistent on everything. We know there's a Ukraine war. We need to be consistent. There's a Gaza war as well. That's, you know, that's a sad thing as well. But that's getting off the subject a bit. So, and it was mentioned, the Magnitsky sanctions, someone mentioned it today. So again, these mechanisms need to be enforced. Other things I saw, what else did we see? We spoke to some students, and I want to hear from you guys, because really, as I say, it's not about me talking at you. I want to learn as well. There is a big diaspora community. I think the number I said there was did I say 600,000 or something?
It's more than that.
It's more than that. Okay, official figure, unofficial figure, sometimes there is
around a million. Around a million.
Okay, so Milon is saying 1 million Bangladeshis in UK.
Yeah.
Really? Not really? Anyway, but anyway, in the world, Shara Dunyare, in Bangalore, Shob Jagaite. So me and my son, Rafi and me, we were in Greece, in Athens, when August the 5th happened. And even there, you could see there's a whole Bengali elaka, so in Greece. People really happy when the news happened. They're all on their phone, they're all excited. I think in Paris, Rome, all these places, East London, there was a protest before. So in solidarity with you guys. And just earlier this year, I do another role I do in the UK Parliament, as well as serving. We're definitely in the flight path here, aren't we? Yeah, so one role I do is I do election monitoring. So I mean, nanan deshe jai, যখন election হয়, একটু দেখাশোনা করি যে সবকিছু ঠিকঠাক হয়ে যাচ্ছে. And so this year, we have seen it's been a year of elections. I think they're saying half of the planet has been to the polls. So, this last year, America, UK, India, and I personally went to North Macedonia, Ukraine. So many countries had elections this year. First one was Bangladesh. They never invited me to do observation there. I wonder why. And then also, আমরা জানি যে এটা আসল ইলেকশন ছিল না, এটা নকল ইলেকশন ছিল, কারণ কেউ ছিল না ইলেকশনের ভিতরে every time. Yeah, when I stood 4 times, there's always opposition, there's always other parties. That's healthy. We have debates. We present our opinions. Into Jodi Kali Akjon Roisa and some local people, that's not, it's actual election now. So, you know, I really want to see, and Professor Yunus assured us, so we want a true, genuine, fair election. But at the same time, the structures have to be there. It has to be trustable. Then, you know, that could also be a danger as well. So, I don't know, everyone is saying it will be BNP. If BNP is just the same, but it's different people doing the corruption, doing the dugniti, then that's not going to be good either. Sorry, brother. I know he's a BNP guy there. We want to make a new system. Johnny's doing that, you know what I mean? They're just alternating Eidol, Oidol, just slightly different, maybe a bit less bad, but still, you know, it's not good. So I hope, I mean, out of all this, Manusha Rokto Dise, Bachara, as you said, little kids, teenagers, you know, the Abu Said thing. It's impossible not to be human and not to cry when you see those kind of situations. So we must have something better out of this. And maybe the students, you guys, are you going to make a party? I'm waiting to hear about what the students are doing. And you know, students, sometimes they can be a bit, you know, they don't get out of bed until Dufurbala or Abisatika. And you know, they're a bit lazy sometimes. But I think these students, really admirable what they've done. Things like just looking around Dhaka, the graffiti we can see. And Chief Advisor Amakidisa Akhtar Boy, Birat Boy, the amazing graffiti. The walls used to be a bit grey and boring, but now the imaginative imagery we're seeing. And the fact that many of those cartoons were banned. The fact that, as I described in July, the internet was shut off. What kind of country does that? That you can just shut the internet off. So, I mean, look, at the same time, I think vengeance is a bad emotion. If we just want revenge, that's also not healthy. There needs to be some genuine process. Because, someone yesterday came up to me and they said they're Awami League, but they're human as well, and you know, so maybe some kind of truth and reconciliation. Because if we just think they're all the bad guys, they're all, you know what I mean, we need to sit down and do this properly. Some kind of compromise is always necessary in life. And it's interesting to hear how it attracted all students. So everyone knows Dhaka University, Ehsanul Hoque, those places have a tradition of protest. 21 February, all those things came out of that. They've always been protesting, but when the private universities did it, from what I can understand, then people knew, oh my God, something different is happening, because they never used to rise up. When, you know, the students with their tupi in the madrasa was rising up, they don't usually do that kind of politics. When the whole country, you know something different is happening. So we can't just replace one bad system with another bad system. Anyway, look, I'm talking a lot. আমি শুনতে চাই তোমরা কি মনে করো? আমি শুনতে চাই তোমরা কোথায় ছিল সেই সময়, কি expectations আছে এখন? So, you know, আমি অনেক কথা বলছি. I want to hear from you, really. We have got, I hope, some kind of moving mic. We can take that round and hear. But I think maybe these other guys up here, I think you need, look, not even 1 week. I think I've been here, 5 days. And I think we maybe need a quota. That's not great either, guys. Anyway, I will stop there. I'm interested to hear from you. Thank you.